Today on CityCast Denver. One of Denver's oldest and most beloved Black-owned restaurants is the Welton Street Cafe. They've been serving up honey hot wings and other Caribbean twists on soul food in Five Points for more than 30 years. But their lease is up in March, and it's going to take some serious cash to build out a brand new space where the owners can open the next incarnation of Welton Street Cafe. So the Dickerson family, who have always owned and operated the place, are turning to the community for help. Today is Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. I'm Bree Davies, and this is CityCast Denver. My producer, Alexandra McMahon, and I went to Welton Street last week after we read about the Dickerson family's new GoFundMe campaign. They're hoping to raise about $250,000 to help them move to a new location and build out a new restaurant space. But when we saw the campaign, they were only up to about $50,000. Did you guys go to school around here?
Mm-hmm. It was, like I said, born and raised in Denver. We all went to East High School, grew up around this area. So, this is home.
The Welton Street Cafe was slammed at 1 p.m. on a Thursday when we sat down with Sherika Dickerson. Once we were seated, though, all the stress of the pandemic slipped away. It felt almost like I was walking into the Dickerson family's living room and plopping down on the couch. And then a second Dickerson daughter, Fatima, plopped down right next to me.
Hi. I don't even know if we've started yet. I'll be honest with you.
Can I just say hi?
Only because this is the microphone. She had, okay.
Fatima had other responsibilities that afternoon, though, so she left us with Sherika, who took a break from her real job teaching literature at Metro State to talk to us. She told me it's always been this way, growing up in the restaurant. When she's not grading papers, she's helping run the cafe's social media and communications and doing whatever else is needed. The same way she has her whole life, ever since her parents opened the first version of Welton Street Cafe in 1986.
Okay, so I am Sherika Dickerson, and this is my family's establishment. So I am daughter number 4 of the original owners, and they're still owners, but they're kind of like more behind the scenes now because they're older, they're more retired or semi-retired, and now it's time for the younger generation to take over. I'm not an owner on purpose because I'm a full-time professor at Metro. And so, there is no actual, you don't work here anymore if your last name is Dickerson. And since my last name is Dickerson, if I come here 97% of the time when I'm not doing interviews with people, I get put to work. Okay, I'll have to go back there and put some fish down in the fryer or take an order, bring an order out to the table. Do something when somebody has a birthday. They're like, come sing happy birthday with us. So there is no, I don't work here anymore. I'm just I just came to bring some flour because y'all ran out of flour. And they're like, okay, great. Put that away. Can you go put down this fried chicken dinner? Wait a minute, hold on. So that's how that works here.
That is wild, but understandable. It's a family business.
Yeah, I started working when I was 12. I don't know if that's legal, but I think if you have a family business, it is.
It's pretty, yeah. It seems pretty normal.
And so, when we moved here back in 1999...
To this location.
It was the summer between my junior and senior year of high school. And so, when I was here, me and my sister, who's 2 years ahead of me, so we were kind of like the daughters that were front and center here. So, people that were patrons back in the late 90s, early 2000s recognize me. And so there's always been a connection. I've always done things behind the scene. Even when I was in Illinois, I was still doing a lot of things behind the scenes. So there's always been a connection. And so it's not like this is something that's extra. This is something that's just par for the course when your family has a business.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you said that you all moved to this location in 99, mm-hmm. the summer of 99. Where were you before that?
We were actually right down the block at 2752 Welton Street.
Oh, just cannot leave the block, huh?
We've actually been all over 5 Points since 1986.
And so you've been serving the community that you live in since the 80s.
Yep.
What does Welton Street Cafe mean to people here?
Well, and that's a good question because I think it might mean something different to everybody. But I feel like it's like kind of a home away from home. Thinking about the history of Five Points and knowing that it's undergone a lot of gentrification and knowing how the demographic shifted with that gentrification effort. A lot of people, this was where they lived. Was where they had their business. And to kind of see us still here, still doing business in the neighborhood, still living in the neighborhood. Like folks are like, why do y'all still live in the neighborhood? Hello, we have a business in the neighborhood. And there was a power outage here the other night. And so one good thing about being in the neighborhood, fortunately, people were still here when there was a power outage. But if you live like right down the street from your business, if something happens, you're right there. Like if you like go move to Boulder or something like that, that's going to take you a while to get there. You want to be close to where your business is, so you want to live and do business in the same community, right? It's not like, let me exploit these people in the community that I once lived in. No, I'm still a part of this community. So for so many people, it means community. It is actually a welcome face in the face of change, right? It's just like, oh, you guys are still here. And there's been plenty of people over the years that like have moved away and then they come back in town and visit and they're like, oh, you guys are still here. Great. You know, and so to me, that is an intrinsic reward. Like a lot of people think you go into business to make a lot of money, not the restaurant business. The margins are invisible. And so you do it because it's something you want to do. Like my mom is naturally blessed as a wonderful cook, and fortunately she passed that gift down to me and my brother and sister who were in the kitchen. That's why they're in the kitchen. Don't tell anybody this, probably not Fatima, that's why she's up here. She is great with the microphone. She is here for customer service.
It's crucial for a restaurant,
right? But the food, she did cook breakfast for us a couple weeks ago and it was good, so she's learned something. But she's not the first person in the kitchen because I had to show her a thing. I'm like, well, first of all, you need to do this, right? But my mom loves to feed people, and it's something that you know we all love to do. Like there's a lot that you can share with people over a meal. And and food is something that brings people together. It brings people from different cultures, people from different generations, from different walks of life. Like you would never, might not ever make connections with people, but it's just like, wait a minute, have you had those honey hots from Welton Street? Oh, you have? Oh my gosh, right? New best friend, right? New best friend.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Choir League. Choir League presents Sing and Shout, an unforgettable afternoon celebrating the powerful legacy of African American spirituals, the foundation of all American music. On Sunday, May 4th at 3:30 p.m., join Lonnie Norwood, gospel singer and teacher from the South Side of Chicago, for a workshop and performance with Choir League. Lonnie will guide folks through this powerful American art form, where it came from, and how it informed American music that came after it. You can buy tickets now on Eventbrite and enjoy the show with Lonnie, but you can also join Choir League. The group meets weekly for practice at local breweries and distilleries. Singers can sign up for 6 to 8 week sessions, and there's always a performance at the end of each cycle. There's no audition to join and no experience necessary. Tickets for the May 4th show with Lonnie Norwood are on sale now at Eventbrite. Just check the link in our show notes. For more information on the program and joining the choir, visit choirleague.com or email info@choirleague.com. Well, you bring up something that I think is just underlying this whole conversation, which is you're a Black-owned business, and we say, quote, historically Black neighborhood,
right,
which implies that a lot of the community is gone.
It is.
What does it mean to you to be in this family running a Black-owned business in a neighborhood that change is such a simple word for it, but it's, an uprooting and displacement of your customer base.
They don't live in the neighborhood. They live like in Aurora. They live in like Montbello, Green Valley Ranch, places that are like all over the metro area.
Yeah.
Just because not only this area, I don't know if y'all have looked at rent prices in this area.
Oh, I grew up here. It's unconscionable. It's hard to explain sometimes to people.
I remember because like I said, I work at Metro down on the Rarier campus, and I used to catch the train until the pandemic, and then they like seriously cut back on service, so I just walk a block over and catch the bus. But I remember when they were building some of those luxury condos down on 25th, and I said, let me see how much these are going to be. And I was like, well, what? I said, $2,500 a month. $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment
In Denver?
And before that, there was an article in the Denver Post that was called Soul Survivor, and it really called attention to the fact that Welton Street Cafe is like the sole surviving Black-owned restaurant in Welton, right? That predates many of the large gentrification efforts. And so, like, there was a time when we were the only actual open business in the Five Points Plaza. And so for a long time, it was just us and the DMV. And then when the DMV left, it was just us, right? And so the only reason why people had to come down this strip, and a lot of the storefronts over there, some of them are still closed, but there was like nothing. And so people would come down here, get their tags, and come to Welton Street Cafe. And it's just like, for us to be like the only open business and still be able to survive that says a lot.
So talking about the real estate aspect, so you all are looking into a new space that's just like a couple blocks down, right, for Welton Street.
It's literally a block and a half.
Why stay in the neighborhood when it's changing so much?
Why not?
Yeah.
Right? This is because I really feel like if it's just historic Five Points, that means that it's
past.
In the past, yeah. Right? We live right now. We are black business. We are a black business that serves black people, right? And in the face of gentrification that says it's not okay to be black in the way that we're black, right? Like, so there is research that says that black people especially need black spaces as a way of surviving in a white world. And the only respite you have is your house. Maybe the barbershop or beauty shop, right? Maybe even church. But that doesn't give you very many places that you could go any day of the week or every day of the week that allows you to not have to put on that performance. Look at the artwork on here. It's just like, okay, we're not sugarcoating it. We listen to this music. We appeal to black folks that once lived in this neighborhood. So why should we have to move just because somebody said,
right,
we don't want you here anymore?
Right.
Well, we want to be here, right? And if we can stay here, then maybe other people will want to be here. As long as people can still come back to Five Points and say, hey, you know what? This was our neighborhood. This still is our neighborhood if we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. And other people in the neighborhood obviously feel that same way, or people that used to live here, and that's why they come back. It's so much more than, it sounds so cliche, but it's so much more than food.
Oh yeah, that we definitely believe that it's so much more than food. It's like, it's long surpassed the food, right? I mean, the food is delicious, don't get me wrong. But it's long surpassed that, right?
Yeah.
If we were just only serving food, you can get good food anywhere.
Yeah.
But what else? How else do you feed your soul, right? We call it soul food, not because it's supposed to feed your soul in some way, but the experience itself should feed your soul as well. And so I have some of my colleagues, white colleagues at my work. They're like, every time I go there, I just feel it's just like this energy, and I just love it. Just like the food is great, but the experience is better.
Yeah, yeah. So you put up this GoFundMe. You've raised $50,000.
We've raised $60,000.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. You still need a little under $200,000, right?
Well, I mean, this isn't our only fundraising effort, right? $250,000 is actually not how much money we need. We need way more than that.
Yeah.
But we need some kind of running start. We have to leave here because our lease is up, which is perfectly fine. We were actually trying to find a way to expand prior to the pandemic. Because we did a Triple D episode.
Oh, like a diners, drive-ins, and dives? Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Guy's face is over there on the wall.
Oh, wild. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
And when you tell somebody about the restaurant, how do you describe it?
It's legit.
How long you got on them chops? I'm ready.
There is nothing like when you get a pork chop that is fried to perfection and then someone puts some gravy on top.
Every time our episode airs, it's totally obvious.
Oh, it's just like business, crazy.
Even before Triple D, we had already outgrown this space, and it's actually trying to find real estate that you can rent or even try to purchase in 5 Points is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
And then we finally secured a spot during the middle of a pandemic. But one of the things that people don't understand is, like, even during the pandemic, there was lots of pandemic relief that we couldn't qualify for. We didn't qualify for, and we didn't get anything. Like, we were able to keep our doors open just on the strength of our customers and our support. Some people are like, well, I'm just going to come keep supporting you guys because I want to see you guys open.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't actually help that we're a Black business because, you know, we're in a business. We don't serve alcohol, so our profit margins, like I said, are pretty invisible.
Right.
And then you're a Black business, right? You're Black people, you're Black owned. And we know that there are such things as racist lending practices as well. And so we're too risky. And it's just like, but we have like nearly 4 decades of experience under our belt. We're not a startup. We know what
how to
we're
run a restaurant.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. And we actually have a customer base. We have a market. We've been on TV.
Yeah. Like, what else do they need to know?
What else
you
do
know?
you need? And you would think that would be enough for somebody, for a bank or somebody to take a risk on you. And they're like, no, your profit margins. Well, clearly, we wouldn't be asking you for this money if our profit margins were a little bit wider, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's really disheartening, especially when when you have to show them like financials from 2020. It's just like, really?
I know, you're like, can anybody show financials from 2020? Well, I just want to ask you what your favorite thing on the menu is, or it was something you want to talk about that if someone's never been to Welton Street Cafe, what would you say come in and have?
Get the honey hots.
Tell me about the honey hots.
The honey hot wings, okay? So people think the secret is in the sauce, and it's not. The secret is in the seasoning. It's in the magic that we put in there, right? Folks are like, man, I went home and I got me some honey and some hot sauce, and it just didn't taste like yours. And we're like, because it's not, right?
You're like, it's just the name. It's not the secret.
You gotta come in. There's a nice balance of honey and hot that you gotta have. First of all, you gotta have the right seasoning that we make in-house. You got to have the right amount of breading, the right temperature of your fryer. But let me tell you something. Sometimes I bring my colleagues from work in.
Yeah.
And this guy, I was like, you like wings? He was like, yeah, what should I get? I said, try the honey hots. And he was like, no, I think I'm going to just stick with these hot wings over here. I said, okay, whatever. Do what you going to do. And so when my honey hots came out, I said, here, try this wing. And he said, oh my gosh, where can I replicate this flavor? I said, nowhere. And so now he kind of like sneaks down here and gets some food and eat it in the car before he goes home and doesn't tell his wife. Hope his wife doesn't listen. He's like, hold on, my husband works with her. Wait.
Coming down and eating honey hot wings secretly in his car.
Just like, I'm going to get these before I go home. Oh, the wife said she was cooking what? Oh, no, I need some honey hots for my spirit. Give me a little 6-piece.
Sharka Dickerson, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's no problem. Thank you for having me.
The Dickerson family's lease is up in March, and while they have a new spot in the neighborhood lined up, it's not built out to be a restaurant. So that's why they're talking to bankers and why they posted the GoFundMe. So I'm going to put a link to that campaign in our show notes in case you want to help out. That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed the show, why not take a minute to tell a friend about us, rate the show wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later. I didn't know what to say. I'll tweet about it. You can find me, unfortunately, at twitter.com/Coco Davies. Follow at your own risk. I tweet about my baby all the time.